critical steps of the macroeconomics. And for the chapter 6, chapter 7, we're looking at the definitions and also the calculations of those macroeconomic terms, such as how to calculate unemployment rate, how to calculate economic growth, and how to look at the inflation rate. And starting chapter 8, we're going to focus on the analytical part of the macroeconomics. Okay? So let's get started. Okay. And so far we have already learned those variables here I listed. So we know what is aggregate output, and we say aggregate output measures the total quantity of goods and services produced or supplied in the economy in the given period. And this is a variable can derive using the output method, the output approach, which is just simply based on definition of GDP. So when we adding up all the various goods and services produced in economy in a given period, then we can calculate the variable we call the aggregate output, which is just the GDP, by using the output method. Okay. And also we have learned the variable we call the aggregate income. So it measures the total income received by all sectors of production in a given period. So here the factors refer to resources. So it could be the labor, the capital, the technology. So all those things will be the factors. So aggregate income can be calculated using the income approach. And again, this is the same value for the GDP. So aggregate output is equal to aggregate income, which is just a different measurement of GDP using different methods. That's why I put the equation. Aggregate output is equal to aggregate income is equal to the real GDP. Okay. However, we missed another variable we discussed earlier, which is aggregate expenditure, so which is written as the AE. And we say that aggregate expenditure is also the total spending. It can be measured using the expenditure approach, right? So recall what we learned before. The expenditure approach can generate the GDP by adding up 4 components. So we have the consumption spending, the household spending, which is represented by the letter C, and plus the investment, right? Then plus the government spending, and plus the net exports. So which is the difference of the exports and the imports? Okay. So this is what we learned before about the expenditure approach. Okay. But in this chapter, we're going to simplify this model. We're going to look at a very simple economy without government and a foreign sector. In other words, in this simplified economy, there's no government spending since we do not have government. Therefore, we can erase this component when we're estimating the aggregate expenditure. Meanwhile, we're going to assume that there's no foreign sector, so there's no trade with other countries. Therefore, net exports can be removed as well. So net exports will equal to 0. So in this chapter, we're going to only focus on 2 major components of the aggregate expenditure, the consumption and investment, without looking at the government spending and net exports. So in chapter 9, we're going to add back the government spending in this economy. But so far, just look at I try to understand the Keynesian model by using this simple equation, especially we're going to work on the aggregate expenditure. Okay. And we know that in the chapter 6, if we use 3 different approaches, we can yield the same variable, which is the real GDP. In other words, the output should be equal to aggregate income that is of the Keynesians. They do not believe that aggregate expenditure is always equal to the aggregate output or aggregate income. So they only be equalized when the economy is in the equilibrium. So if the economy is not in the equilibrium, the aggregate expenditure is not equal to aggregate income. So let's try to look at what is aggregate expenditure from the perspective of Keynesians. So let's starting with the first component of aggregate expenditure, which is consumption. Then we're going to move on to investment. Okay. And here, we're going to look at the consumption in more details instead of just have some data for the consumption, let's say $2 billion or $2 million. So we're going to understand the consumption using function because this is a consumption function. We're starting with individual consumption function, which is a consumption function for individual household, which shows the level of consumption at each level of household income. So this is a curve. It's a linear curve. It's a straight line. Shows the consumption function for our individual household. So on the vertical axis, we have the household consumption, which represents little c and little y. Okay. So the consumption function. So it's always a coefficient in front of aggregate income, which is the consumption function, which is c equal to a plus b1. I can write down the general form of the aggregate consumption as it is for the individual consumption. The level of aggregate income is not the individual household consumption, not the individual income. We look at all those aggregate